bell rings, gates open, the field of 11 is on its way. A wonderful start for Miss Easy Blitz, now joined by the Thinking Man. Down at the rail, we have the Grade A Performance horses race through the stretch, and it's Miss Easy Blitz with the leaders. Dashing Thunder flying on the outside, the Thinking Man right there, the Thinking Man, and Dashing Thunder split the line in the 1999 AQHYA stakes.
He was 14 in 1999 calling that race.
His voice gave it away?
A little bit. 14 years old at Los Alamitos Racecourse, and believe me, I'm sure at that point Ed Burgart went, ugh, really? 14? Amazing, amazing job. And he is now the race caller over at Zia Park, and we are very fortunate to have with him joining us on Race Day America for a Sunday. Jonathan Horowitz, Mr. Horowitz. I call you Mr. now because now you're an old grizzled veteran. Welcome to Race Day America.
Thank you, and it's always great hearing that first race call. It brings back so many great memories, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've had so far in horse racing.
When you listen back to that race call, are you amazed at how good you were at that age, or actually do you start critiquing yourself?
Actually, I have an interesting story from that first race call because ESPN was covering it. They tied an extra microphone to the headset, and the headset was actually too big for my head. So it fell off in the middle of the race, and I caught it out of midair and finished the call by holding the headset. And I don't think you can tell from watching the clip, but when I think back of that call, I sort of see that moment in my head where the headset falls off, and it probably could have been a bad thing, but I was able to catch it out of midair and finish the race call.
Jonathan, I'm laughing because I'm looking at your picture and the picture we have for you, and you look like a fraternity brother right now. You got the bow tie going, you got the checkered shirt, the jacket with a monogram on the side here. Can you believe that it's 14 years later? 14 years later, and that you're calling at a recognized track like Zia Park on a regular basis?
Oh, that's very special for me. This has been a dream of mine since I started going to the racetrack with my family, and now that I get to do it as one of my jobs, I couldn't ask for anything more.
All right. Well, I want to let's put on your representative of Zia Park hat on right now. Unfortunately, no racing today. The land of enchantment will have to be watched from indoors today. From what we're being told, severe cold weather. How cold does it have to be for Zia Park to say, we're not going to do it today?
Well, I looked outside my window this morning and saw snow on the ground, which is a rarity in this area, so I guess it makes the land of enchantment even more enchanting, but that means that we'll have to wait a few days to run our big races, all the big stakes races from this weekend, the 2 quarter horse championships yesterday, the 5 thoroughbred stakes that were supposed to be run today. They'll all be packaged together and will take place on Wednesday.
Jonathan, do you have a particular style when you call your races? Do you feel like, there's something that separates you perhaps from other track announcers around the country?
I've enjoyed listening to race callers from all around the world, and thankfully have had a lot of race callers from around the world who've given me advice and have helped me out along the way, those in the United States, but also in England. Simon Holt has been a good friend of mine since I started announcing, and then in Australia, some race callers there, and so I like to think that I have my own style, but I'm influenced by things that I can pick up from all the great race callers from around the world.
I think even going back to 1999, there's a lot of track announcers, at least in the country here, saying, hey, you know what? Stay in New Mexico. I think that's a good move for you. As far as the Derby is considered, Jonathan, 4-5 morning line favorite, Broadway Empire for Robertino Diodoro. We had him on Race Day America earlier in the week. Your thoughts on the race, and do you think the 4-5 morning line is fair?
I think the Zia Park Derby is probably the strongest running we've had of that race in the 9 years that we've contested the Zia Park Derby. The Oklahoma Derby has produced a lot of winners in the Zia Park Derby, 5 of the 8 previous winners, and Broadway empire, maybe the best of those. Robertino, he's been a big supporter of Zia Park from the start, and he shipped first strike to win the Zia Park Derby in 2011. So for him to have such a great horse and support our big race day, it's definitely saying a lot about Zia Park, and we're real appreciative of Robertino and all the other trainers from California, from the Midwest, who sent horses for our big races.
It's quite funny when you look through the field here for the Zia Park Derby, the number of different racetracks that these horses last raced at before coming to Zia Park.
That's very interesting because we've had at Zia the New Mexico Cup Day, which is the richest day of state-bred racing in the country, and that's for New Mexico-bred horses. So really, our marquee day up until this season has been from horses that we've seen in New Mexico going up against each other. But trying to inaugurate this Land of Enchantment Day and bringing in horses whose last race have not only been all over the U.S. in, say, Remington or Santa Anita, but also in Canada in Northlands Park, it definitely makes for real intriguing races, also real intriguing to try and handicap and figure out which of them are going to be able to put it all together racing at Zia, which for a lot of them it'll be their first time in this area.
Well, Jonathan, we really appreciate you taking the time. Stay warm. For more information, visit ZiaParkCasino.com. Click on the HRTV banner. It's going to be a great afternoon of racing. A Wednesday, and will be the thoroughbreds and the quarter horses will be covered. Jonathan, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Keep up the good work, and don't be a stranger here on race day.
Absolutely. Thank you. And it should be great to have our races on Wednesday, and we appreciate HRTV being there. And then you'll also be covering our sister racetrack stakes races from Penn National. So it really should be a great day for our parent company, Penn Gaming, as well.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. We really appreciate taking the time. Again, stay warm, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Jonathan Horowitz, track announcer. I can't believe that kid. Somebody told me when I first time I heard it, before I heard his race called Los Alamitos, they said, now you're going to think it's a girl, but it's not. It's a 14-year-old kid. And I said, I couldn't believe, like you said, how perfect it was. It was a perfect call.
And he overcame adversity. It's something new that we both learned. He dropped the headphones in the middle of the call and never missed a beat.
So exciting. All right, Jonathan Horowitz, we appreciate you taking the time.